Hello there. I'm glad you're here. I'm Dakota Earth Cloud Walker, and if you missed the first video, I hope you go watch it later. I introduced the Cailleach, who she is, and how her energy helps us to remember really truly who we are. And today I want to expand on the teaching of the wheel, what it means to live cyclically, how this path transforms the soul, what practices we can use to embody that path, and why walking it in community really deepens everything. It is mythic, it's grounded, and really, quite frankly, it's needed right now. You know, the old ones knew that time was not a straight line. It curved and it breathed like the earth herself. Every season was a doorway. Every full moon was a mirror. They lived within the turning, and they called it the Wheel of the Year. And the wheel turns through 8 sacred festivals: Samhain, Yule, Imbolc, Ostara, Beltane, Litha, Lunasa, and Mabon. Got them. And they mark the rhythm of life itself: birth, growth, harvest, death, and return. And the Celts watched the land to know when to plant, when to rest, when to celebrate. And the priestess of Avalon, they tended the fires at each turn, keeping that harmony between the seen and the unseen. And every point on the wheel is a story. Samhain is the descent, Imbolc is the spark of rebirth, Beltane is the fire of union, Mabon the harvest of wisdom. And when the Cailleach walks the wheel, it becomes more than a calendar. It becomes an initiation. The wheel is not time passing. It's really the soul unfolding. In this upcoming year, in the Wheel of the Cailleach, we will walk 4 great arcs that mirror earth and spirit: fire, veil, dawn, and passion. And in this upcoming fire arc, we work with the ember, the spark that lives inside of us. To ignite it fully, we begin that work in the blood mysteries, remembering the lineage of women who came before us. We begin the work to heal the witch wound. Even if you don't identify as a witch, it is a wound that affects us all. And we awaken remembering to reclaim power that has been leaked for centuries. In the bone cycle of this fire arc, we descend even further. We hollow out that vessel. We meet the Cailleach in her truest form. She's the teacher of ending, psychopomp of the soul. And you will learn to carry this vessel of your becoming to become a channel for its return. Veil, the 3rd cycle of the fire arc, returns us to the mystery and the luminous in-between. It's through ancestral healing we clean up that debris lingering for generations. We reconnect to the lineage, to whether it's blood or spirit. And we do the work of the psychopomp, releasing lingering souls of those who came before us. And each turn mirrors the human journey: our births, our losses, awakenings, our returns, our healing. And to walk it consciously is to live as priestess in rhythm with the earth. This is not escape from the modern world. It is a way to live in harmony with it. No season lasts forever. Rest is as sacred as the action that we take. And the Cailleach reminds us of that every winter. It's safe to stop striving. It's safe to let ourselves compost what no longer needs to live inside of us. And when we align with the wheel, life stops feeling like a race. It becomes a rhythm, a dance. And when we walk the Priestess Path, we are not only learning ideas, we are learning a way of being, a rhythm that carries us forward through every season of life. And that rhythm follows the wheel of the Cailleach. Each season, each direction, each packet, all woven through 7 sacred practices. And these practices shape the pilgrimage of the modern priestess. They create the architecture of each cycle in the wheel. They form the foundation for a life of deep meaning and that deep spiritual presence that we're all here to just dip into even further. So I'm going to walk you through these 7 practices, and at the end I hope you take away something that's useful for you. Okay, let's start with number 1. Number 1 is the wisdom we bring in. It's the east direction, it's the element of air. And in the east, we meet that teacher within. We open the mind, we invite new insight to breathe into us, And learning is not memorizing. It's receiving wisdom that awakens what is ancient inside of us. When I teach, I am not handing you information. I am stirring that cauldron of remembrance. The world within us is shaped by the wisdom that we carry. So each day brings something new that adds to this inner world. And the act of learning, receiving, and awakening marries the mental body with the intuitive soul body. This is how we balance being human and spirit. In the Wheel of the Cailleach, we begin each week with a packet that has this teaching, a nugget of wisdom in there for you to learn, but to bring it in. It aligns us with the clarity, the curiosity, and sacred thought, the energy of air. The priestess in the East listens with her whole being. She doesn't collect theories. She allows the truth to move through her. Teaching is illumination. It's the dawn of the next path for you. And then next we have ritual writing. And this is about living the wisdom on that sacred wheel. It is east moving to south, the bridge of embodiment. So once we receive the wisdom, the next step is to live it. And this is where ritual writing comes in. Now, journaling can recount a day. Ritual writing transforms a life. If we only record events, we stay locked in that east mental body. We stay locked into that story. We repeat it again and again, but we don't really fully integrate it. Ritual writing is soul alchemy. It weaves intellect and emotion, thought and embodiment. It brings sacred meaning into those ordinary acts. It opens up liminal space of mind, of your heart. And when we open that door, we invite in spirit guides, ancestors, the essence of Awen, and living magic to meet us at that threshold where language and awareness become revelation. So something mystical happens here. Wisdom no longer lives outside of us as separation. We become it. It threads itself into the marrow of our being. We live it differently. We see it more clearly. We judge less. We see the larger pattern. And we know when to step in and when to step back. So each week you translate the teaching into your experience, your stories, your memories, your rituals. And through that writing, you don't just understand the work, you become it. When you write with intention, you reclaim your voice as priestess, as storyteller, as spell weaver, and your words become incantations. They shape your world. Through ritual writing, the invisible becomes visible, and wisdom takes root really deep into that heart space. I'm hearing all kinds of birds here. I'm so excited. I had like turkeys and all kinds of stuff greet me when I came into the woods today. The third practice is our work with the correspondences and cultivating relationship on the wheel. This is when we step into the south direction, the element of water. So in the south, we move into relationship, passion, devotion, emotion, action, and here we work with the correspondences, the living allies of our path, goddesses, trees, animals, plants, the moon cycles, and so many more things. In our Wheel of the Cailleach, we bring it down to a small nugget, 4 or 5 correspondences you're going to work with each time. But correspondences are all around us. They're not just symbols, they're relationships, and each one mirrors something within us. Owl teaches us to see in the dark. Elder tree teaches us to hold memory. Monkshood teaches us the boundary between poison and medicine. And how often do we feel alone in our walk? The price of power can be loneliness or imbalance. And correspondences are bridges to the unseen. They're those luminous strands, that companionship, each carrying a different resonance. We call what we truly need. Years ago, in a shamanic breathwork session, the energy surged beyond me. 8 people breathing. I needed help. And I called in oak to ground me. I called in owl to see what my eyes couldn't see. And then I called on dandelion to lighten the field and carry away any of that excess energy. And suddenly, I wasn't alone anymore. A team was with me, each one holding a different role, and we created a safe container. I could not hold that space on my own, but to work with allies We have to build those relationships first. We learn their strengths, we learn their seasons, we ask the right ally to do the right work. I won't call on Al when I need help to root down. I will call on a rooted tree first, just as I will call my accountant for taxes and not my friend who casts spells. So knowing your allies is how you build your team. Maybe I should actually have that person do spells for my taxes. When we tend to these relationships daily, we awaken the sacred fire within. We learn to trust our intuition. We learn to notice how the world speaks back through feathers. I got 2 today. Leaves, scent, synchronicity, correspondences are everywhere. And they remind us that everything is alive and everything is connected. With them beside us, we no longer walk alone. So throughout the Wheel of the Cailleach, we work with specific allies that align to each teaching, each season, and you will learn many ways to form these bonds so that they last, learning how to interact with them in your ordinary world here. Okay, number 4, the next practice is sacred crafting, where we give form to spirit. And this marks the west direction, the element of fire. In the west, the unseen takes form. Spirit becomes tangible. Sacred crafting is creating tools, rattles, wands, candles, masks, charms, incense blends, potions, tools that hold your story and your energy. Yes, you can go buy a tool somewhere, and some will serve you beautifully, but imagine forging one for yourself, honoring the animal hide that becomes your rattle, choosing what lives inside the rattle's belly, each piece meaningful specifically to you, each one chosen with intention. Finding a fallen branch from a tree that you love and holding it when you rattle your spirit alive. This is power. This is intimacy. That is a tool that carries you. The ritual begins when you gather materials. The spell begins when you tie the knot, light the wick, or shape the clay. Each crafting moment teaches patience and humility. It is one of the oldest forms of prayer. When the hands create with intention, the soul remembers its purpose. So across the year, we will craft 12 sacred tools: death mask, Valkyrie gardenings, rattles, wands, and more. Your toolbox will shine with living power. Living power. I have to stop in between practices to hear who's talking to me in these woods. It's really fun. So our 5th practice to help shape your Priestess Path is spellcasting, shaping reality through intention. This also resides in the west direction of the wheel, the art of magic. So a spell is focused intention. It's not control, it's alignment. It's not superstition, it's relationship. Many fear the words witch or spell. We are taught to. Witches were women who were in their absolute power. Healers, herbalists, gardeners, animal whisperers, ritualists, ceremonialists. Women who understood the conversation between the seen and the unseen. And the witch wound is a very low ceiling. Spellcasting helps us lift it. It is our way of reclaiming voice and that voltage and directing our energy where we choose. A ritual honors passage. A ceremony is communal. But a spell is intimate. It's a conversation between your soul and the universe. When we cast a spell, we partner with creation. We partner with breath, with word, color, vibration, and we claim our role as co-creators of destiny. Inside the Wheel of the Cailleach, you will cast each week. You will practice magic in your own way, safely and skillfully, but with some framework for you to test out some different things. So our next practice, our 6th one, is meditation and soul listening, the practice of presence. And this is where we step now into the north direction, into the element of earth. And in the north, we learn stillness. We listen. Meditation is not just about silence. It is hearing the voice beneath the noise. Inside the wheel, we explore many forms: guided journeys, breath work, movement, chanting, walking, elemental awareness. And each form teaches something unique. When I walk these woods, I am in meditation. When I drum by the water, I am in meditation. When I sit on a rock and feel the wind on my skin, or the wing beats of the raven through the canopy, I am in meditation. Now, as a meditation teacher, I know the power of many doorways. Walking grounds that energy into Mother Earth. Listening fills me with mystery. Breathing returns me to oneness. And during the Wheel of the Cailleach, I give you 7 meditations each week. Do one, do all 7. 7 ways to practice inner contemplation so you experience the textures of life fully. You know, stillness is not the absence of motion. It's the presence of awareness. Okay, now our final practice that helps shape this path of the priestess is embodiment. Becoming the living temple on the wheel, we step directly into the center, the heart of the wheel. And all of these practices that I just talked about lead to this place right here. Teaching, writing, crafting, spell work. Embodiment is where wisdom walks. To embody the path is to live as priestess each day. The altar is not separate from the kitchen table. Every breath, every conversation, every act of care is sacred. Wisdom inside us means little unless we move with it. A doctor studies for years, then becomes the healer in action. So it is with the priestesses the same way. Learning and practice lived each and every day. This is the heart of the pilgrimage, not becoming something new, remembering what you already are. The Cailleach teaches us to bring sacredness back to the ordinary world, to root down, to rise up, and to live in rhythm with this creation. And those are the 7 practices that you can do to begin walking this priestess path. They're also the 7 practices that we do in the Wheel of the Cailleach. I hope you've taken some nuggets that you can take away today and tuck them and marinate on them for a little bit. And if you're interested in the Wheel of the Cailleach, there's a link below. You can go take a look at it. In the next video, we're going to enter the descent and what that truly means, how reclamation happens with tenderness and power, and all of those good things that happen in between. All right, I will see you there. Thank you for being here and for being in my orbit. I hope to see you on the wheel.